Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skello Mystic. Welcome to another edition of Wizard101 Through the Grapevine, where I talk about things that are going on in game, things that have gone on in game, and maybe some things that will go on in game, plus some other ideas that I and some of the fans have had to improve our game, to improve our community, and to make this game and gameplay a little bit more fun. Now, as you all probably know by now, Polaris is supposed to be the next world in the Wizard101 series, and it's supposed to be coming out around November. Just like, you know, they call it the fall update. That's pretty far along in fall. November is. Anyway, around November it's supposed to be Polaris, and it's supposed to be, if any of you have followed any of the spoilers that have come out. Wizard101 Spoilers, by the way, is a great channel for that information. I do not know how he does it, or where he does it, or what have you. But the fellow has some good solid information, good solid leads, and I will try to put a link in the description for him. Polaris, anyway, Polaris is the next world coming out in this series. And it's supposed to be an ice-type world, polar bears, and little hats with kitty ears on them, and all kinds of odd stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if Polaris were to be accessed through something like Winter Tusk or even Colossus Boulevard, you know, one of the ice-based worlds, because Polaris is supposed to be an ice-based world. Now, I hear there's going to be a lot of gear increases in that thing, some level ups. I'm not quite sure to be certain what the levels are right now. I haven't been able to follow it the past little bit. Anyway, as far as all that goes, it's supposed to be Polaris, and there's supposed to be a lot of cool new stuff, which I will be bringing piece by piece in some other further editions of Through the Grapevine. Now, oh, somebody beat me. I forgot to turn that thing off. Okay, guys, ignore that. You did not hear that beep. It was your imagination. I would like to talk about some things that I think would be great ideas for the game, especially with that new update coming. I mean, they're writing a bunch of code anyway. Why not write some more code? Add a little bit in there. Give us some new things. We've had the same 7 schools, basic schools that Wizards could play forever now. What if, with all the addition of this shadow magic that they've been having, they haven't really developed shadow magic, in my opinion. They've got a few things that give you buffs, and they've got wand spells, and they've spent a lot of time on shadow magic without really giving us anything. What if they were to start an 8th school of magic, the shadow magic school, and you as a beginning player could access that school just like you do fire school or storm school or balance or any of that? What if you could start a new character and have him be shadow school with all shadow school spells? And if they really had a cool theme for those characters that join the shadow school, like the hooded and cloaked thing, like Old Cobb. If everybody could have like glowy eyes sticking out of a big old hooded robe, gnarly hands, and I just think that would be the coolest thing ever. I would love to see them have an addition that drastic of a 8th school that we could play as characters. I could even, if I could draw, I could even draw this for you, because I have a picture in my mind of what all this would look like, and I think it would be so awesome. Another thing that I would like to see, and I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, I was thinking about that whenever I was doing the showcase for this house, the Avalon Castle plot. How cool would it be if we could change, say, from day to night, or our Greystone to like Dragonspire Stone, or grass, basically change the atmosphere of our homes, change the background of the scenery. If we could, through a Crown's purchase or through a drop, you know how we have wallpaper and flooring now? What if we had wallpaper and flooring for our actual world? We could change our sky to a nighttime sky with stars. We could change the trees and the grass, the landscape. I think that would be awesome if we could have a wallpaper and flooring type thing for our actual home worlds or our islands rather than just our houses. That would be the coolest thing ever. I would like to see, and some other games have done this, I would like to have a spell or a potion or anything like that that would allow us to access our bank from the field. You know, you're out there fighting, I don't know, in Chrysalis, and you've got that one wand or that one deck that you've just forgot and you would love to have without having to spend the time to pop all the way back to your house and go through your bank and have people standing there waiting on you and all that bit. What about if you could just conjure your bank temporarily on the field right in front of you, just like boom, right here, bank appears. Now they do that in some other games like Warcraft and stuff like that, so I can't see where that would be impossible or really even hard to do. I do believe that would be a great improvement so far as gameplay goes. So Gary, if you're listening to any of this, by the way, ring, knock, 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 I'm ringing on your doorbell here. Alrighty, let's see. I would love to see, and this is for the longest time, before I even started Through the Grapevine, I thought about this. It would be so nice if you could click X and remove some of these old unwanted quests from your quest queue. You know, I've got go see Lincoln at the at the registry for Wisteria, or you know, things like that. I've got old quests like that still in my book. Let's look. Quests. Yeah, go to Scofflock in Grizzleheim. I mean, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. I might defeat the Sandswood one day, but I haven't worried about it yet. I usually don't do quests like that until after the update comes out because I don't want to burn 53,000 experience for nothing. I'd rather have it put into my quest line and level up. That's my preferred method of play. Tongue-tied. That's my preferred method of play. I like to do some of this old content and give myself the level boost before I hit those new worlds where they've already got it set to you've got to fight your utmost maximum at the level you're at. I do that myself a lot. You know, I save those old quests and I cash them in after the level up bar is refilled again so you can get yourself another level. Anyway, I think it would be great if we could take some of these old unwanted quests out of our quest queue. Let's see. There's another thing I was thinking about that I would like to address, and that is I would like to see a prism for schools other than the opposite. Now, right now we have a prism that converts fire to ice and storm to myth, etc. I would like to see prisms that convert storm to ice, or storm to balance, or, you know, anything else, storm to life, anything. So that, for instance, dual class players, you know, could do things like that. You could convert to something that the opponent is not expecting in PvP. That would be nice. I could see a lot of uses for a convert other prism. And again, it doesn't seem like it would be something that would be too hard to do. So let's see. Another spell that I would like to see is a Dispel Shadow spell. They have Dispels for every other school. Why not Dispel Shadow? You put a Dispel Shadow in someone, and that keeps them from casting bugs. I mean, sure, the Storm spell does that, but it also would do things like keeping them from casting Shadow Strike, keeping them from casting, you know, any of those Shadow transformations. I think that a Dispel Shadow spell, being as we have a Dispel for every other school, just makes sense. It just makes good sense. It would be a thing in PvP, especially for those defensive players, that they would probably love to see. Them knowing that someone can't strike up and get that extra 50% pierce, they'd probably dance in the streets after that, having a celebration. So I think that a Shadow Dispel edition would not only not be OP, but it would be welcomed and great. Let's see, moving on. What other ideas could I have for this? I would like to see the first Wizard101 dual purpose pet and mount. And what I mean by that is a pet that you have, and you click on it to mount, and it grows, and then you can ride it as well. I think it would be the funniest thing. If I could cast a spell and make this armadillo a giant rider, that would be too funny. And I can just think of some pets that would make the funniest looking mounts. Like, I can't even begin to get into. There's just too many that would be too funny. Like that brainy assistant that come out with Terror's Horde packs. Imagine if he, as a pet, you could make him grow and he like carried you on his outstretched arm or on his shoulder or something. That would just be the funniest thing ever, ever. Like he turned from a brainy assistant and he grew into a Frankenstein monster. Like it was just too funny. All right, let me think here. I would also, on the lines of Shadow Pips, like to see a give Shadow Pip spell. Do you know how many times I could have won in PvP, or I could have beat a boss, or something like that, and all I was lacking was a Shadow Pip? I'd have a full bar of regular pips, and I could not get a Shadow Pip to spawn. I think that a spell that you, even if you couldn't give it to yourself, if you could even give it to your teammate, would be an awesome addition to that. I mean, imagine in a 4v4, the first guy gives you a Shadow Pip, the second guy gives you a boost or whatever, and bam! I think that would be an amazing addition to PvP. Not only questing, but a PvP especially. Let's see. There's a bunch of, you know what? I think that I might be running on a little bit, and I've got so many ideas. I could talk about this for days and days. So I think that what I'm going to do is hike my little self up here to the top of this hill and probably end this out and do some more ideas in another Through the Grapevine. Because, wow, I'm telling you, that's all I do is think up ideas for this, and I have fans that talk to me about it all the time and give me their ideas. Anyway, here we are. We have reached the end. So, guys, this is the end of this Through the Grapevine. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Maybe leave me a comment about other games or other series or any other thing you might want to see me do. If you'd like, leave a comment to talk to me, to ask me questions, or just shoot the breeze, because I love to talk to you guys back. This is Skelamistic reminding you that whatever else you do, always love the game. Peace! Hey, what's up, gamers? This is Skelamistic and M. We are in round 3 of this special Noob Troop 2v2 Tourney Edition. And so far, we are unbeaten, which in itself is really amazing, because I suck at PvP. It really is amazing, honestly.
Go!
Just like,